During September 11th, I was in the 4th grade. Dad was in Washington, D.C. at the time. So we didn't hear from them for about 2 hours after that. And I remember Mom took us home and we sat and watched it on TV. But they're fine now and everything. But my uncle told us all about it and he saw the fireball hit.
See, I didn't really know what to think. Because I remember all the teachers were like running in our classroom and they were all like talking really fast and really nervous. And then they came in and kind of explained what happened and it was pretty frightening.
We weren't allowed to go outside to play because they told us that they had sprayed the grass, so like we couldn't, and we all bought it. We were like, that's so stupid that they would spray the grass when they knew that we had to go out to recess. But then we found out after school was out because my school is in base housing in Offutt.
During September 11th, it was probably halfway through the day before I actually realized what was happening. I started skipping high school classes to go sit in the student center and actually watch the TV to figure out what was going on.
I was at Roper Elementary School in Lincoln, Nebraska in my 4th grade class, and when it happened, our teacher turned on the television in the classroom and we all watched the news.
It took me a long time to really understand. Like, it took me a few days to really understand how big it really affected everyone and everything, and so that took me a while to do that. My parents helped me understand that along with
When I got home, because I walked home, and my dad, who was in the Air Force, he was just like in his room and he was watching TV, and I walked in and he was just crying, and it was really weird. So, I mean, that just doesn't happen, to like walk in on your dad and see him crying.
I was in shock. I didn't realize what was going on. I'd say that I have always been fairly patriotic, but I think it's made me appreciate the freedoms that I have way more than I ever did in the past.
During September 11th, I was in 3rd grade and I was at school, and we were in our music class with our music teacher, and then he was listening to the radio that day and he kind of gasped, and then he's like, oh my gosh, the Twin Towers are falling.
I've always been really patriotic, and I think it has to do with being being a military family member.
Kind of made everybody, including myself, more sympathetic to like other countries and what they have to go through. Because I mean, other countries have probably dealt with stuff just as bad as we did, but we don't really care too much about that.
We'll take a time of remembrance that day and say an extra prayer for those people.
When you see that many people dying in your country, it makes you want to defend it and stand up for it.